Hello guys, good to see you. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at the T1 games for sure.
What is this? Tier Maker League of Legends Female Champions patch to... Why? Why do you want me to make this? Okay. Why?
No, we are still watching kick-up games. It's just... If I kind of pointless to... I just don't want to upload it on my mate channel. It's like if you want the kick-up reviews, you have to go on... Like you have to go here. And basically here you'll find kick-up games. Pickle Slam Dunk, thank you very much for your prime. Appreciate it. Thank you. I think we start off with some T1 games today, guys. Live Sandbox.
You know, I think that's something we might see Live Sandbox do here. Necton is going to play T1 like...
The main thing is it's like here Yasuo, so Burger Flippy. It's like you pick Yasuo. You pick Yasuo into champs. So Yasuo's fine into Nami. Not the greatest into Lucian in my opinion. Pretty bad against Wukong, pretty bad against Akali. And I think it's like fine into Nar.
Years ago, I don't know, a lot of lungs full today, as we could hear, as Kyle and Envy are going to spot out a large amount of T1 players here towards the bottom side. Faker sort of setting himself up, and you've got Closer moving down as well. Potential 3v3 situation.
Zeus did take
4v3, never mind.
Yeah, just pointing out he took, but
yeah, could have been some scuffling, but was not any scuffling.
No,
as it turns out, Zeus very
your blade, looking to put the pressure on Big. Try to trade
up that we watched develop as he misses the tornado on that one. But I think this is one also where if Owner comes around and helps out, this could
because it gets pushed in. But right now on this patch, not so much. As Willer is coming over here for an early gank.
Yeah, Closer is going to come in as there's the shifting sands. Faker's done that one before. Of course.
Yeah, you could trade your flash for flash if you wanted to, if you just block the Azir and he needs to flash out.
So you could probably trust Faker.
Doing this with jungle costs very little time. Like you lose like 5-7 seconds in your clear and it's perfectly fine. Especially with champions that are not that great at full clearing before crab spawn.
On every champion you play, yeah, because you will encounter it.
It's like here, Azir burnt a lot of mana and it's value.
Owner really trying to push the advantage here with Zeus having level 4 and this push in.
Yeah, Bertle having to deal with these minions.
So Owner just having a little sniff to make sure that he can secure crab. Just waiting for crab spawn.
Double scuttle is going to come through here for T1 as Carrier. Bubble hit. You get bubbled exactly. There's the flash forward. Envy. It's like, buddy, I just left. No need. Yeah. The double scuttle is going to come through here for T1 as Carrier. Bubble hit. You get bubbled exactly. There's the flash forward. Envy looking for the second kill as well.
I don't know what to say. Just postured very far forward with low HP with some lethal range. Of course he can flash and live, but either way it's bad. He will be without flash.
Still going to be the kill.
Actually pull this off. Stops his back.
Not sure what KO is doing here. I think it's...
Oh dear.
The bubble.
Prison is pretty
I
good.
think also Flash was
Still
pretty
don't
poor
get
here.
killed going over to the Vi, so they even things out, but first blood gold still there.
I think in this one you can actually preemptively flash here because the Vi is not gonna go under the turret. And then if she goes under the turret you can bubble on her Q. So basically you flash and bubble on your head, and then I think that you are always safe here with Nami. You played it poor, but also pushing forward when Lucian was finishing Rico was not good. Wukong skipped Wolves here, but I think he just wanted to be into bot on Drake timer. It's not too bad. Hello Shuya, good to see you. Greetings Libra Elementia. Hello Cacnea. It's a good Pokemon. I think KO could have pushed better here. It's like here it's very important that you trade in unison, right? It's like he's looking for a trade, he's pushing forward. This trade makes perfect sense. I think also, if anything, it's like with Lucian, you should dash in a way where you don't connect with Lulu. If you want to look for like maximum value here. But here also Kale doesn't need to go to the end of the bush. It's like here he needs to just stand here at this point. Instead of walking all the way back, because it's like it's important to throw the bubble on the Zeri just so she can't fight back. It's like you want to throw the bubble so she dodges and then you go out with Lucian. But also this trade that Lucian went for, he doesn't have W I think here. You see, he wastes his W here. This was a very poor W here from Lucian. I think also Nami could maybe squeeze an auto here on the W. Because this is like, for T1's bot lane, this trade is perfectly fine. Wukong gets it, which is a big deal. He's gonna be very close to 6. Also getting solo XP on Dragon is such a big deal. Hello, Big Hanyu. I should be able to reach 6, but the difference is that Wukong will not be in base yet. So like here Vi could do red into topside. Zeus is in big trouble. I don't like how Burdul uses E here. He should hold the E here and Akali should initiate, and then when Yasuo is trying to make his escape, that's when you go for him. Because here Akali has lost a lot here. Akali ult, she lost a big wave on mid. And her situation is actually not so bad on mid. At least he has Exec Alternator and the double M-Tom. The fact that they don't have ults on Akali and Nar definitely increases the odds here for T1 to get Herald. Even though... Which is kind of crazy. It all comes down to this gank that Zeus survived. Thank you very much guys for the blessings. Appreciate it. Tack så mycket. Yeah, the Yasuo's doing well, all things considered. Them getting Herald is, I think it's quite a steal, honestly. I think this just roam top was very bad. Very bad for the game. Yeah, also losing Flash here, I think is not going to matter too much. Because what I wanted to say is Wukong needs to match whatever Herald's placed. Alright, they just collect some platings. Zeri got a little hit. Oh wow. Flash poly on the first dash forward. It's pretty good. Wukong is not Divine Sunderer, so... Oh wow. Jesus, I thought Wukong would just die. That's crazy. Oh. Did Zeri just W flash here? Can she do that? I guess she can, yeah. I like the Zeri tech to skip Berserker Greaves and just go shield bow straight. I think that's not too bad. Especially on 13.3 because you can have overheal. I know the result, yeah. Nami is very strong though. Unironically, it's very good to have kills on Nami. Your mandate damage is incredibly strong. Here at this point, blue side is so much stronger in the game. Much stronger in the game. Okay. Not sure why you would dash forward here, Gumayushi. Like he wants to leverage shield bow, but to burn your dash before Nami spells, it's not the way. Very sloppy here from T1. I really like how Owner opens on the Azir lane straight up when mid lane has enough information to contest the wave. This is something that a lot of players don't do. Is that it's like if you're playing mage into assassin on side, what you need to look to do with jungle is to just cover your solo laner, especially if you have vision around mid. That makes it okay. It's like, yeah, Lulu can just stay in fog, Zeri will catch. Perfectly fine. It's like here, Zeus is also, like, it's a miracle that Zeus is allowed to steal these waves, but you can see that, Zeus is playing around information. He sees that Wukong is leashing it, so he steals another wave. Like, all these things add up, because blue side is not farming bot, and they're getting Herald, but the fact that Zeus is allowed to, he uses wards and information to make sure that he can farm top wave. It's a really, really big deal. Difference maker. Something that a lot of top laners don't do. Hello, man, Bear Pig. Top of the morning to you as well, my friend. I'm doing quite fine. I hope you're well yourself. Here, Closer is posturing in a way to prepare for the Herald to break the turret. Yasuo's picked 5 here, so there's no flex properties when picked on 5. I think Yasuo mid is garbage. I think Yasuo into Gnar is fine, but I think it's just a hard game to lay Yasuo into Akali, Wukong and Gnar. I think that it's not so easy, Yasuo game. Here they're placing Herald because Azir is still on bot wave, but Azir begins to hover the moment. So Live Sandbox sniff this out and they should allow... It's like the moment Azir doesn't hit this bot wave, right? I think that you just hover into top side. But of course, I think this Herald is tanky enough to crash into the turret. I think that when it's placed that close, you can't kill it on time. I think that the way they layered their CC here was very poor. Because, as you can see, they are throwing everything on the same time. So this is a Q flash of Vi, which is pretty clean. Alright, there's a Q flash of Vi, I believe, on the Lucian, which triggers the Yasuo. Not even flash, actually. Owner just But then here, Owner just, instead of basic attacking E, proccing passive and smiting, like he needs to just ult after they ult. But instead, they press it all on the same time, which gives Lucian a window to actually get out here. Otherwise, he would just be one-shot, and I think this actually wouldn't be a fight. I didn't see the LFL games yesterday, actually. I'm very happy that the LFL is doing well. It's very good. Very good for the ecosystem. But I think this was very poorly played here by Owner, I would say. It was a good Q snipe, right, on the Lucian. I think the fact that they layered their Vi ultimate, oh, this is ugly. Close is just so hard win. Yeah, not sure what Faker's thinking here, right? It's like Vi is showing on the mid wave and he's just going on the bot wave. My neurodivergent ass finally landed a job. Congratulations. I don't know what neurodivergent ass means, but I hope you're not too hard on yourself. And yeah, this is a very strange move here from Azir to cross into bot. Because as mentioned before, it's like Vi needs to always cover for Azir if Azir wants to push past the neutral waves. Now the issue for T1 is that the concentrated gold on Wukong and Akali, two champions that are very good into the comp, is a very big issue. So the gold distribution is very poor. Yeah, Closer got a bit confused here by everything that went on, but okay, let's go sandbox. Let's go sandbox. Trade of side, completely natural, but of course Live Sandbox are on the Dragon side, and they got a very early Drake with Wukong. Strong game from Wille here, very strong game. I think it also started off of the fact that Lulu died in bot, which set up Live Sandbox bot lane to slow push a wave out, and then the Drake was just taken. We can check it out, Danny Flo. This is insanity as well. I don't know what you're thinking here. It's like diving tier 1 mid usually requires like perfect information. But this looks crazy. Crazy. It's like the Nami ult is placed well, because keep in mind, it's like Yasuo cannot win wallet. He needs to R first, and he can W, of course, during his R. That would be completely broken if he could. This is just game losing. Completely game losing. Wow. That's crazy. I don't think it has to be Leguan Z Galapagos. I don't think it has to be that way. I think that they're different games, and they need to compete with a very different schedule. Oh, that is true, actually. I didn't know Willer was ever on T1, but everybody else, yeah. Thank you. That's actually a cool piece of information. Appreciate it. I think this was a game where Sereti Dirk actually like did a bit, you know, in the early game. That mattered. Yeah, you're very rough for Azir. He went Zhonya's Hourglass, but the issue is that everybody on the enemy team already has Ninja Tabi, and you're not really leveraging the fact that you're solo AP by going Zhonya's. I think the winning play is to go for Shadow Flame. I think that the key thing, right, Valorant is competing against CSGO, so if they structure their circuits more in a way that can compete with CSGO, I think that makes more sense. It's like, right, there's no competition in the league sphere, so they've created a way to minimize costs and to still dominate the viewership through constant scheduling throughout the week. I think fans that are watching shooters are definitely, you know, used to a very certain custom, and if you want to bleed into the CSGO viewership, you know, understanding how CSGO viewers consume CSGO is very important. Because a CSGO viewer doesn't necessarily is necessarily not the same as a Valorant viewer, you know? I think CSGO viewers are very used to the world of big tournaments, a big build-up to tournaments, majors that are scattered throughout the year, and I think they're just two very different things. So I don't think you can really compare Valorant and League of Legends. I am quite satisfied with the individual leagues. This is just solid play from Liv Sandbox. I think Sandbox is honestly, you know, looking like a top 2 team in the LCK. I like this gameplay a lot. Very strong game from Liv Sandbox. They played very structured, played fights well. This was a very nice game. Very well done by Liv Sandbox. Really impressive game, honestly. This was a very good game from Willer. That's just small details like this one, right? It's like they got this kill on Lulu, and then Wukong adjusted his pathing. Instead of taking his wolves, he just went straight into bot to match. And then they were building away from bot. They got first Drake off of it, really big. I think that they made the mistake by ganking top, where Yasuo only burned flash for it. That was completely fine. And then just the 3v3 on bot definitely sealed the deal. Like this 3v3 on bot, I'm just impressed by how strong Wukong is. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's like here, the strength of Wukong is mental. Nami had no ult, and Wukong just completely 1v9s this. Nami also does plenty of damage as well, but after this, the game was smooth sailing. T1 made some mistakes, which everyone does, but we keep a high standard for T1 for sure. Let's take a look here. So I think right off the bat, right, I think even though I think Jace is pretty decent in the Kate Lux, I think probably the only two top laners that are good against Caitlyn and Lux is Jace and also Gangplank. I think Gumayushi on Caitlyn sounds very scary. I am not a big fan of Varus Heimerdinger. I think the issue with Heimerdinger in this particular matchup nowadays is that with the turrets being solo HP, it becomes very easy to actually just clear them with these two champs. Sejuani also. I think Sejuani is really good into what's showing already. You're going to have lethality stackers. You, like, unless you're in a situation where you go 4-5 here, Liv Sandbox, and they're looking to play like Karthus, I am not a big fan of this type of rotation. It's like Karthus can save this, right? Karthus, Fiddlesticks, these are the type of games these champions need to come out. Thank you very much, Muminovic, for 7 months of goodness. Good to see you as always. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to today's stream. How is it possible that the LCS is now the best region in the world? Yeah. Do you think Vitality will kick Neon and Kaiser next split? I think it depends on outcomes. Depends on outcomes and possibility. I think the main question is, I think that Vitality, honestly, Kaiser has been as atrocious as Neon. I don't think you can blame only one party there. I think the issue is that Neon is just, I don't know, Kaiser is just losing the game level 1 every game. Love the Corki here. Corki is very good here. But already from the get-go, right? You know that you're going to pick an AD jungler into Sejuani. I think that's already a big weakness. Sejuani is very strong early against every AD carry jungle, unless you're planning to play Kindred. But Kindred in this spot into Caitlyn Lux Corki is just completely boost. Very bad. If you had to coach an LST team right now, who would it be? I would be very intrigued to work with Fudge. Very intrigued to work with Mithy, Vega V2. It's not necessarily... I'm not viewing it through the lens of what value I can add or not add, because sometimes that's hard to tell unless I speak with everybody in there. But C9 has a lot of people that I would love to work with, you know? This is a very solid Corki game. And then Sion into Jace is completely standard. It's just here, it's just a very bad look here. Imagine a world where you go Varus, Jace, Heimerdinger, and then let's say your idea is to play Karthus here on 4 or Fiddlesticks on 4. Then I kind of like the draft. But the moment you slam Azir, I think that your 4 is just lost on the map. That's the issue. I think that very tough game to play. Wow. Corki E damage with longsword stats. I see most Corki players just start with Doran Shield. You see how easy the Heimerdinger turrets die, guys? Like, look how easy this Heimerdinger turret dies. So it takes less damage from... So that's one headshot, okay? And that's a Q, right? But Q, AoE spells do less damage to Heimerdinger turrets. But just the basic attack damage is so high. So I think it's definitely, like, worse for you. That's a Comet Varus with the Q start. Kind of strange. But, okay. Community kind of disrespectful, I would say, going Lethal Tempo and Doran's Blade Potion instead of something else. He does have Resolve second, so that's definitely going to help him in lane, yes. I think he might have went Bomb Blading because he expected a Varus with Halo Blades, but instead there's a Comet. Alright, we have a little E-Flash. Zeus could flash here and just be out. Okay. This is gonna be... This is a very big investment here, because Jace used flash, Boner is going to take Wukong's bot side. Wukong doesn't have enough time to even check if Gromp is still alive, so already here Wukong invested a lot into this gank top. The main issue is, will Sejuani, like, on the path back, will she be able to just plain and simple... Okay, the Gromp was very greedy from Honor. I'm not sure what he was thinking here. This Grompy was the greediest one of the planet here. I wonder if he should have just flashed and looked for lethal with Varus Q over the wall. Now jungle situation is completely equalized. Like Honor should have done blue and then push for Crab, and then with bot prio take Crab, and then Wukong has less camps, and then Wukong won't be level 4. I don't like that Honor goes for Gromp. Obviously it's not good. Yeah, T1's bot lane is perfectly fine. The wave is big. They have vision. The 13.3 changes don't change bot lane meta at all. There was no nerfs for anything. Nothing has changed for bot. It's buffs for melee supports, but the thing is, Riot is very conservative in the way they buff, which I think is perfectly normal and fair. But I don't think the changes, I think that the changes to support items on 13.4, that is going to definitely create more of a balance. Yeah, I think Korea should have waited with the Z and held it longer to make sure that he doesn't hit the wave. But this wave is slow pushing towards T1, so they're very, very happy. Yeah, Annie bot is definitely fine, yeah, but that doesn't change the meta that much. I think Annie is very good when the long range AD carries out. I think if the enemy AD can play, the longer range AD carries, like playing Annie into Caitlyn kind of blows. Playing Annie into Varus kind of blows. Playing Annie into Ashe kind of blows. So yeah, we've already seen Annie bot, right? Is being played. I think even in the series it's played. Ezreal, I guess, is arguable. Annie can be good if like the bot lane is like Zeri and short range AD carries pretty much. Yeah, the Envy is posturing very far forward. Here Kayle, he hits a point blank, like with a centered grenade, which makes this trade like remotely digestible. Gumyushi's Q usage and then spell usage here was very poor. Across the board, Envy still has flash. Good hold there on the flash to bait them in, but the E hits in the end. And here it comes. The E lands. What is the Corki build at the moment? I'm not sure, honestly. I thought that we were going to see a like shield bow Navori quick plate build, but Manamune is such a strong item because Corki has crazy AD scalings. Scales with spell pen really well, scales with AP not so well. So anything that has high AD numbers you kind of want to look for. I could see a world where a build could be Manamune, Ravenous. It's like you just land on 2 crit items and that's it. You don't need to buy more crit items. You just have Navori, Shield Bow, Manamune, Ravenous Hydra, Void Staff, Magic Pen Boots, something like that. Could definitely see that. I think Manamune just gives you too much AD. It's like AD is the most important stat. Someone in the Fnatic subreddit said that you said no chance subset plays for Fnatic again. I didn't say that. I said low chance. But you shouldn't. It's like whenever someone on any platform ever says, oh, this person said this. Like, how often I see myself being misquoted, it's crazy. And the thing is, people always take like one piece of information out of context to make their argument. Be careful with those things. I see people do that when they come to me with Cadral opinions, with LS opinions, and I'm like, I can just see through it very easily, right? And I think you can go on any subreddit that you have on a topic that you have a lot of knowledge about, and then you can easily recognize the pattern of misinformation. And I think that in most cases, you know, I don't think people are acting maliciously. I think it's just inherently, you know, there's an information economy, and people want to present themselves as they have a piece of information that others do not have. that inherently is value, right? Alright, so nothing happened with the fact that there was no flash top. Boom. Not super easy to flash this one, because he's just at the edge of that wall. Isn't that just lying? No, because I don't think it has malicious intent. I think people sometimes want to interpret something the way they want to, and then sometimes things are just misinterpreted, and then they just carry that information forward, you know? It's like on the topic of upset, I thought I'd just say I think it's low chance that he's going to be playing again for Fnatic. And I also mentioned that if upset plays again, then I would heavily consider also coming back to Fnatic. And that's it. Yeah, this playlist, honestly, Spotify radio really is popping off here. Not gonna lie. So Owner is just completely dominating. Crazy. Yeah, playing Wukong against Vi is not quite the same as playing Wukong against Sejuani. You don't really match Seju anywhere. You have to use the fact that you're strong on Divine Sunderer, but when the matchups are this volatile everywhere, and you wasted time to try to gank top, it's not the easiest thing. Gore Drinker Jace. What on earth, guys? I don't think that can be good. I don't think that can be good, guys. There's no way that's good. I think Zeus almost has W, by the way. There it is. He wants to be useless. Yeah, this game is just over, guys. I think we can move to the next game. This game is just completely lost. They are dying left and right. I think Radiant Virtue... No, I don't want to see Gore Drinker Jace. I think this is already telling enough. They're banning Jace themselves. I think every pre-draft conversation against T1 the teams have is like, should we ban Jace? No, we can just pick it 1-2. And then they just completely run it down. This is T1's biggest fan. So here, it's a very different case, right? As mentioned before. Varus, Ashe, Caitlyn, Lucian, Nami, everything is out. So Annie definitely becomes better here. Ezreal Karma. I think Ezreal Karma should be fine into Annie, honestly. Lee Sin into Elise. Got a little buff. But not enough for me to get excited about Lee. I don't think Jax is a counter to Gnar per se. No, I'm not sick. I think Gnar is fine into Jax. You lose early, but then you can slowly win. If anything happens though, Jax gets ahead, then you're in deep trouble. Double MR mid. That's Willer right there. They're looking for mid dive. Yeah, if you guys are on T1, then yeah, your win ratios are going to look crazy. Almost whatever you play. Yeah, any support is perfectly fine. She got hotfix nerfed. I still think it's strong. I think it has good attack range, good spells to max. Like E is a very decent spell. Just getting sieged on here. Kriya pushing forward and abusing the fact that he has very long attack range. I like the Rune Church. I think Glacial is not bad, but I think probably in most lanes you want to have Airy where you want to pick it. What's your opinion of stats in League? Are they worth to draw realistic conclusions from? I think stats should be used for inspiration, not for conclusions. It's like, let's say I see that Jax is dominating the meta, and then in solo queue you see that there's a specific champion, let's say Singed has 45% win ratio against Jax, and the sample size is 5% of all the games Jax is in. That's a pretty decent sample size. What playlist is it? I'll link it to you, Angel. Here it is. This is what I'm listening to right now. It's called Xanarkand Radio. No, I meant that 5% of the games where Jax is picked, Singe is picked into it. That's a decent sample size. So exploring Singe into Jax could be something that is viable. But then you need to also think about the fact that Singed needs to be played against all of the other champs in the meta. So it's like playing Singed into, let's say, Caitlyn Lux Azir. All of a sudden, the context of Singed is going to be a lot worse, right? So you always need to look at stats as a source of inspiration. Yeah, it's like Analytics is a very interesting tool, but you just look at it for inspiration. So as I mentioned, Jax. Okay, let's put up Jax. So Jax is weak against so he's weak against Singed, as an example, and the main thing, right, is in isolation it can be very good. But if you swap it around, right, and you look at Singed, and then you look what he's weak against, you can see things in other roles too, right? And that has an impact on the value of the champ. Even though I think Singed, it's like we talk about Singed, but I think Singed is one of the champions that is kind of underutilized. But at the same time, his elo is very inflated by the fact that he gets level 1 kills because he goes Predator and people are AFK in the jungle. He roams and all he does is roam and he just presses Predator and snowballs the game like that, right? Thank you, Eleanor. But Singe is just a like very elo inflated champ, you know. I believe in talent more than stats. Now, what does that even mean? So we're talking about stats in the context. It's like stats are good for inspiration. That's it. Nothing else needs to be said. They don't present you with facts. They prevent you with an idea that you can think about. Wow, this window is crucial from Faker. Crucial window. Wow. That is very nice. It's funny because I think what Karma just did might have killed Closer. He might have just killed Closer. He might have just killed Closer. Because I think Karma took XP. I think you just go on YouTube and you write any matchup. So this is what you do, okay? You want to cook? You say, okay, I want to watch Orianna versus Victor, Challenger, Korea. And then, wow, Chovy plays Orianna mid against Victor. Let's learn. You want Twitch? Well, you're asking the wrong person then. I think watching streams is a waste of time. What's the... The reason I say watching streams is a waste of time in the context of learning like about champs and so forth, there's so much downtime. It's like you're gonna watch, it's like you watch Faker stream, you get to watch him in Champion Select, in queue, like that's like 30-40% of the experience. It's like League of Legends as a game, to stream it as a solo queue player, it's not a great game to stream. It's very undigestible. Thoughts on G2 acquiring Wild Rift team? I have zero thoughts on that. That's why you get 2 monitors. Let me see, it's like... It's like, yeah, this is a good stream. This is a stream that I would recommend. This is probably the greatest Irelia player on the planet. Yeah, if this is a useful stream to watch, if you want to learn Irelia. From the rest, It's like from the T1 Zeus. Oh, it's just this is just solo queue. But then everything else, it's like the best stream to probably watch. No, it's clapped, guys. For the sake of improvement, it's like its Nemesis is the best one. But man's having a breakdown.
Whatever, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely second screen content. But yeah, I think watching streams is probably not the best way of improving. It's like I think like watching Whipple stream. Now that's like turbo, because he basically he takes his brain and puts it in his mouth, and just everything he thinks he just says out loud. That's brilliant. It's like Whipple stream is insane for learning. That is like Whipple is such an outlier though. Whipple is a turbo outlier. But yeah, in terms of watching streams, I think just watching streams is not the way. It's just like you can get better by watching streams, yes, but it's inefficient. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. Just play the game? No. That's also really bad. It's like that's the equivalent of taking a, let's say you have a multiple choice test from A to E, okay? 5 choice option quiz that you have to take. You have a choice to study, or you have a choice to just take the test over and over again. You know, study a bit. Studying is good. Why are you being rude, Lunes? We're listening to piano music. We're gonna go off and be rude. Of course, guys, it's not black and white. But it's like, even if you're a beginner, it's like, if you're a beginner, you open up the game, you're going to have some recommendations. Like if you're a beginner, you're not going to open up the game and then like read about every item and then like theory craft some build in the first game that you're playing. No, you're not. You're simply not, right? Yeah, watching VODs is insane. It's like, you know, there's a reason in the context of everything. There's students and there's teachers. In the beginning, when I started playing, there was no teachers. There was only students. And we were innovating and we were chasing information. But even then, I was paying attention to my competition. Whenever they found an edge, I adapted to that edge and I made it better in my own way, right? Ooh. Ooh. What? Oi. I just live sandbox very principled around mid. Anyone showing on bot, they're gonna take over mid. Azir is so broken. That's your conclusion of that. I agree that he's broken, yes, but it's a weird thing to say in this moment. Because they were just 3v2. And Akali just took a very poor all-in because Ani was showing on bot wave. If they fight 3v3 and Ani is there to throw a little stun on Azir, they can definitely like one-shot him with Lee. Yeah, the nerf that is coming is not that big, honestly. Like, they reverted the attack speed change on W. So, like, if that change is not going through, Azir nerf is really whatever. Let's continue. Oh, no reason to apologize. The level 1 mana is big. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, playing with better players against better players is definitely a good way of learning. Like when I played CSGO, right? I was playing with people way better than me, and I got good really quick. Because that was the only way possible to keep up and to actually enjoy myself. And I was heavily incentivized because I was playing with friends and I wanted to keep playing with friends. Right? It's kind of like a survival of the fittest thing, you know? Do you think Ace will be played in Pro? I think his early game is a bit too weak to be played in Pro. And I think that his ultimate requires too much to stack. So I don't think that you're going to be in a situation where you can like prepare to have that for each Drake. And I think through that, Aurelion Sol's value will definitely be lower. It's so rare that Talia is blind picked, right? So I have doubts that Aurelion will be picked a lot. But maybe Aurelion Sol is just strong enough late game that it doesn't matter. Could be the case. Honestly, this playlist is so fucking good. This playlist is really goosebumpy. A cool thing about Acel bot is that, you know, if you have a support that can push with you, you can easily like stack a lot more on each wave, you know? Most LCK games are 30-minute plus. Yeah, but even if they are, most of the time, those games, there's a one team that is hard winning. It's like, usually the games that go 30 minutes, most of them, it's like one side got Herald, they got Drake, and then the enemy team is just waiting for a mistake to occur. The mistake doesn't occur, and then that's it. It's like, even though the game is long, it doesn't mean that it wasn't one-sided. Acel Karma can counter Kate Lux? No, sounds very hard. Just keep in mind, it's like for lane. Like, like just imagine, think to yourself, right? How on earth is Acel going to fight back against Caitlyn Lux? It's like he has a W spell that doesn't do much in lane, let's be honest, right? And then his Q, it's like he's standing there breathing fire. The enemy champs outrange you, and you can get trapped while you're breathing fire. You have to stand still while you're breathing fire. If you use logic, you know, before, you know, blurting something out, you can really improve your thought process, you know, and get more out of your own mind, and you put yourself in a position to thrive and to actively engage in your own thoughts. Very important to apply critical thinking for your own sake, you know, for your own sake. Why don't we see Seraphine bot versus Kate? Because Seraphine bot, like, she is outscaled by Cleanse. Yeah, Tristana sounds very hard for Aurelion Sol. The Seraphine needs carry champions in jungle and top, and it's not so easy to draft. Like, Seraphine can maybe neutralize. She can maybe neutralize some lanes. No, Seraphine and Renata don't serve the same purpose. Seraphine is an enchanter with a powerful engage ultimate. Renata is a counter engage champion. Sure, you can use Seraphine for the same purpose, but not really. It's like they need ban for summoners. Yeah, that would be, you know, that's why Riot should not listen to Reddit for balancing. It's like there needs to be counters in place for things that are inherently game breaking if they are stacked. Like, those counters really need to be in place, right? It's like, if there was no cleanse in the game, let's say they removed Mikael's cleanse in QSS, you know that every team comp would have like CC out of their ass. Sure, you can buy mercs, maybe something like that, but you kind of want to remove the idea of people stacking too much of something. That's why Grievous Wounds exists. Grievous Wounds exists because they don't want to create a situation where the enemy team composition is Dr. Mundo, Soraka, Aatrox, like something ridiculous. Jarvan gonna see more pro play in 13.3. We saw some Jarvan in North America, but I have to say both of those Jarvan players completely ended. Disgusting. I think Closer and Pioshik had some of the worst performances in jungle I've seen in a long time. On the same day, actually. But that's not really champion related. River, I usually don't catch the Golden Guardian games because they're always fifth, because I guess nobody cares about them. So I don't catch the Golden Guardian games because they'll be at like 4 AM for me, and I'm not staying up. I'm not staying up for that. Okay. Wow. Envy. Giga Chad Envy, by the way. Giga Chad Envy. But Envy also auto-attacked the minion, the psychopath. Wow. Guma missed 3Q. Where did he miss 3Q? He missed the first W. This one got E'd. Hit. This one hit. It's like he missed the Ezreal E1, and then it's like he didn't get a direct hit, but he did hit on one. because it's like 6 pellets. No, not 3. He missed 2. And it got Ezreal E'd and also flashed. He's fucking lucky, Envy, honestly. That's crazy, by the way. This... My man... He flashed over him. I don't know how to judge this, but this looks kind of stupid that it doesn't hit, no? Does this not hit? You serious? This doesn't hit? I don't know, man. That's crazy. Yeah, it's like, sure, it's like the nameplate, but it's like the hitbox is a bit inside of you, know? I don't know. Come on. It's like, I understand, guys, that his body is on the right, but he's practically inside of him. They will show Envy's POV. Like, what the fuck are we watching, my friend? I don't know. That's it's weird. It's weird. I think more often than not, guys, I think Ezreal dies there. More often than not. I can tell you this much. Envy is not thinking, okay, I'm gonna flash to the edge of the bush here, and then I'm gonna be at the edge of the bush, and then when enemy flashes on top of me, I'm going to juke to the left, so he's going to like go past me on the flash. Shayna. I could tell you this is not intended. Alright, a little Spirit of Sojini. Banshee's Bobo on Faker. I wonder if the move is just null magic mantle into Shadow Flame, and that's it. Just don't finish Banshee. Yeah, I don't think the flash was actually end. It's like, if I review that, it's fucking unlucky. There's nothing else to say. This is not like... If you could go back to last year with the Fnatic squad, is this something you would have approached differently? I don't want to talk about it, honestly. really important. It's like Zeus always does such a good job of securing himself. A very good job of securing himself before pushing. I've moved on from Fnatic. Just leave me alone, man. It's like here in these moments, right? Here, I like that people buy pings, but it's in preparation for a dragon fight, right? It's very different. It's like Annie buying pinks is for sure overkill, right? Like she maybe could have been on Shirelia already, and that would have made a big difference, right? Annie for sure overkill, but having like pinks on the other players in preparation for a dragon fight, it's like the pink value that you can get in a fight. It's like 75 gold is spent on a control ward is still you can get a lot of value in a fight. It's like you pink ward this bush, pink ward this bush, you deny the enemy vision, you confirm that they don't have vision, and you spot bushes because fog of war is such a important component of being able to fight and finding flanks. In preparation for dragon fights, I like having pink wards in your inventory. But of course, here on the topic of Korea, right? Like he is 1-1-2. I'm sure there could be a way where he could have forced Shirelia. Like, and in that context, the pink wards purchasing is definitely worse. I think as silly as it might sound, buying pink wards on other players over support before you finished your first super item, and maybe in some cases second when you are ahead of the curve and you've generated a lot of gold. Zeri doesn't have that much AP damage anymore, no. This is your daily dose of Yamato Cannon. This man put his feet in the Burger King lettuce. Okay. On what team you used to coach you like the vibe the most? The Team Vitality. And then Sandbox. How do you stop players from autopiloting in games, or is that not an issue? Give them tasks. Make them recognize, the value of active thinking in game. Make them understand that every game is kind of a opportunity. But autopiloting is definitely a very common issue with players. For sure. It's a very common problem. Oh, is this Divinity? I think this song is from Divinity Original Sin, no? Divinity 2? Rivalon, yeah, that is Divinity, yes. I wish, sometimes I wish I could be like streaming and just play Baldur's Gate, and I was praising Zeus so much for like securing himself, but here he doesn't take the time to ward at all, doesn't take the time to take it easy at all. He has full vision around mid, and Yeah, I've stopped players from picking champs, but like stopping him sounds so harsh. It's just, you know, it's a conversation built on trust, you know. Yeah, he got out, but he burned flash. I think you just make sure. Yeah, I'm just saying it's like Zeus taking the time to ward Tribush here wouldn't cost him much at all, you know. A really good void staff pivots here from Elise and Azir. I like that a lot. No, I wouldn't compare playing solo queue to learning piano and playing Beethoven over and over again. Solo queue is more like jazz. Because there's a lot of elements in solo queue that are too predictable. Like unpredictable, I mean. Okay, I like that the Annie position here. This is interesting. No, solo queue is jazz. That's it. I think here, yeah, Korea after he warded, I think we should know, right? So Korea always uses these puppy pay-to-lose skins on his wards. Very clean from T1, man. Very nice. But yes, MV misplaced. Does this spider see Annie? I don't understand. Has to be, right? Yeah, then Envy just really trolled. Like, what is that? Also here, the enemy starts Nash, and Burdul procs his Meganar on the wave, and doesn't TP. Like his Meganar is on right now. Like his Meganar is half. His Meganar is half, and he's TPing right now. He's TPing. He's TPing, and his Meganar is out. Obviously, it wouldn't matter here, but it wouldn't matter here, but it's a bit of a rough one. Feels good to throw boomerangs. Collector Nar. Feels good, man. I remember when Wicked was trying to cope really hard and bought Hurricane on Nar. There was this meme in the community. Not the meme, like people said it like unironically, like people, the fans. It's like, he's a mini Nar player. He's a mini Nar player. Mini Nar player? What the fuck? So when he's mega, he's just worse? What does that even mean, mini Nar player? Mini Nar player. He's a mini Nar player. Crazy. He's a mini Nar player. I'm a dismounted Kled player. Yo, Brave 15. 2 months. It's like, I'm actually a human form Nidalee player. I just, I'm really good at throwing Nidalee spears. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually hammer form Jace. I buy Gore Drinker. And what it means is I am a something player that's just gonna use half of my champion. Boom! Here comes the Annie. Annie. Why does Zeri build Navori? I think that Navori is better in situations where you need dashes, but I think when you're playing a DPS race, I think that IE is much better. Another thing about Navori is that I think Navori is slightly better. Navori is slightly better as an item. It's slightly better as a second item than IE is. But I don't think it's like, I think if you're playing a DPS race with Zeri and you're hitting a lot of tanks, same thing with Sivir, I think that IE is very strong. Ezreal have Duskblade before Navori, is that the way? I think this is some overcooked shit. I think that this is not the greatest Ezreal build I've seen. I think even Ravenous Hydra is just better than Duskblade. I don't mind not buying Mythic on Ezreal. Like buying it late. What's the point of Shrelia Annie? Well, when you eat people, you give them more move speed, and the Shrelia move speed, you leverage that to get engages off. You have good AP scalings, it's perfectly fine. What else should you buy? Yeah, the issue is Cyrilda is incredibly broken on Ezreal. That's the problem. It's like right now, the average armor on all of T1's champions is like 80 to 100. It's like the armor pen from this item is really good. She's fine with Mandate. No, she's not. Mandate is not good. It's like you're thinking, you know, like Mandate in solo queue can be fine, but then you need to buy Rylai's first. But you know, supports in solo queue, when they are winning, they get 10 kills in bot, the 2v2 killing, whatever. They are the richest people on the planet. They are Jeff Bezosing out. And Imperial Mandate has very little value if you don't have Rylai's. Just non-existent. And I assure you, like, Ria could be on Riley's right now, and he will not reach like mandate before the game is over. So why would you want to itemize for a case where you are hyperscaled? You'd rather itemize for the cases where the games are competitive and you're going to be the decision maker. I think Essence River is a strong enough item to keep all the way to 6 items. Essence River is just very strong. We weren't talking about just one item. We're talking about Annie as a champion and what is within reason. So it's okay to be wrong, but to pretend now that we were talking only about 2-3 items, you know, that was you missed the context, right? It's very important to keep the context in mind always, because the community is trying too hard now to talk shit about items all the time because it's easy and accessible. But oh, he landed. Owner, the boner. Okay, Elise repelled the whole thing. Oh wow, Faker. Oh, great stopwatch. Great stopwatch. Holy shit, Closer is getting murdered. Oh, the E! This was a crazy fight. Exactly, Bray. I'm proud of you, Bray. It's the same always when people bring up, hey, why is he not AP Varus? Yeah, if you walk to lane with like recurve bow and blasting wand against a noon quiver pickaxe, you are just gonna hate your life. And that's it. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs of all time, actually. AP Varus late is really fun, yes. You know, if there was a game mode, like a team fight game mode, right? Let's say there was a game mode where the game mode is Drake control, okay? So you have 5 champions. The first round is defense versus offense, and each player gets 5k gold. And then on the second, you get 7k gold. And then on the third, you get 10k gold. And then, let's say, 13k gold. That could be really, really interesting. Then champions would be chosen very differently. This is the Final Fantasy 15.